What it means when you become an avoidance phantom X is very different from what most people assume. A phantom X isn't the person they talk about. It isn't the person they chase. And it definitely isn't always the person they rebound with. A phantom X is the one who lingers internally, quietly, long after the relationship is over. When you become an avoidance phantom X, it doesn't mean they're sitting around missing you the way an anxious attacher would. It doesn't mean late-night texts, emotional confessions, or dramatic regret. Avoidants don't process loss in that way. What it means is that your presence created an emotional imprint their nervous system didn't know how to fully integrate at the time. Avoidants are wired to suppress, compartmentalize, and delay emotional processing, especially when feelings feel overwhelming. So when a relationship ends, they don't immediately grieve. They don't sit in the pain. They don't replay conversations or emotionally reflect the way anxious attachers do. Instead, they shut down, move forward, distract, and stabilize. That's why avoidants often seem fine after a breakup. And that's where the confusion starts. Because while it looks like they've moved on, emotionally, they often haven't even arrived at the breakup yet. A phantom X forms when the relationship ends before emotional processing does. You become the phantom when the avoidant leaves while dysregulated, overwhelmed, pressured, flooded, or emotionally maxed out. They didn't leave because the connection meant nothing. They left because their system couldn't handle the emotional load anymore. And here's the part most people don't understand. Avoidants don't attach through intensity. They attach through nervous system contrast. So the person who becomes the phantom X isn't the one who chased hardest, argued most, or tried to hold the relationship together at all costs. It's usually the person who felt different, the one who brought calm, the one who didn't demand emotional performance, the one who offered closeness without control, the one who allowed space without disappearing, the one who didn't shame them for struggling emotionally. That kind of connection doesn't register immediately for an avoidant. In the moment, it can still feel threatening. Getting close safely to someone still feels like danger when your system learned that attachment comes with cost. So they pull away. They minimize. They rationalize the breakup. They convince themselves it wasn't right. But what happens later is where the phantom X emerges. Avoidants often don't emotionally understand a relationship until after there is distance. When a human is under more stress than their system can handle, the brain doesn't help them understand the situation better. It protects them instead. Under high stress, the emotional and reflective parts of the brain go offline, and the nervous system shifts into survival mode. This is when clarity disappears. Feelings become muted, confusing, or completely inaccessible. Even when the avoidant cares, their brain can't process meaning while it's overloaded. This is why avoidants often don't emotionally understand a relationship until there is distance. Once the pressure is removed and the nervous system settles, the brain slowly comes back online. Stress hormones drop. The emotional centers regain access. That's when memory reconnects to feeling. That's when the relationship begins to carry emotional weight. Not during the overwhelm, but after the system finally feels safe enough to reflect. And that feeling doesn't show up as missing you at first. It shows up as quiet comparison. They'll find themselves thinking of you when something feels peaceful, when someone reacts differently than you did, when a new connection lacks the emotional ease they didn't realize you provided, when they feel emotionally safe and don't know why. You're not haunting them consciously. You're showing up as a contrast their nervous system remembers. That's why phantom exes aren't always contacted. Avoidants don't reach out when they feel confused. They reach out only when their system feels regulated enough to tolerate vulnerability. And many never reach that point without doing real inner work. So instead of reaching out, they carry you internally. They may get on dating apps and date others. They may rebound with some adventurous coping buddy who can entertain them and help them numb out and distract, which really enables them to stay avoidant. They may even commit to someone else. But unresolved attachment doesn't disappear. It goes dormant. And here's something important. The phantom ex is not always idealized. Sometimes the avoidant still believes leaving was necessary. Sometimes they still believe they weren't capable at the time. But there is often a quiet regret that sits underneath the logic. Not regret that sounds like, I want them back, but regret that sounds like, I wasn't able to show up as the person I wanted to be. That's a very different kind of grief. This is also why avoidants sometimes come back much later, months or even years down the line. Not because they suddenly missed you, but because they finally have the emotional capacity to understand what the relationship meant. They can now see things from a different perspective. Delayed grief is real for avoidants. They don't grieve when the relationship ends. They grieve when the nervous system feels safe enough to feel. And by then, the person who created safety without pressure often becomes unforgettable. But here's the part that matters most for you. Becoming a phantom ex doesn't mean you should wait. It doesn't mean you were the one. And it doesn't guarantee reconciliation. It simply means you impacted them at a level they couldn't consciously hold at the time. And if you're anxious, it's important to hear this clearly. Your value isn't determined by whether an avoidant remembers you quietly. The goal isn't to be unforgettable. The goal is to be secure. Because the healthiest outcome isn't being someone's phantom. It's being someone's present, emotionally available, chosen partner. Understanding this helps you stop chasing meaning in silence. And it helps you stop measuring your worth by someone else's unresolved nervous system. Sometimes, the deepest impact you make is the one they don't know how to name until much later. And that's what it means to become an avoidance phantom ex.